like when we went to Desicon, the first couple of times, you didn't have like layered tables. You didn't even have a tablecloth. You came there with drawings, like some art prints that you printed on your printer at home, and you just laid those out on the table. And you took some cash, like card, like how were you supposed to pay with card? Like that was not a possibility. And you just like, it was all just flat on the table. And that's kind of how it went.
In the DC Marvel universe, the comics, you fall on the wrong side, right?
The wrong side.
DC side.
The right side. How dare you, actually? I'm leaving.
My t-shirt from my previous episode is full of Marvel cats.
Yeah, so, I saw it yesterday. Really, really cool.
So
it's not like I hate Marvel. It's just that the comics are not necessarily the best the last years.
That might be true. I'm more of the MCU fandom. Yeah. Read a couple of comics. And to be honest, the MCU is way ahead of the DC EU or whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
Hopefully that corrects itself now with the proper build-up. But you might be right that the DC comics are the better ones with better stories.
I think they are. I think Marvel struggles to kind of find their foothold with like audience on the comic side. It's not that they're not doing anything good. Like you have some really cool like one shots, like WandaVision was really, really good. Or it's just called Vision. The comic is a really good comic, which the whole WandaVision show is based off of. And they do kind of tend to take some of the best comics and translate them into the MCU. But I think that with DC, the writing and the art, which is really important to me, is just on a different level and more like on the ball of what is actually trendy now with like youth and also with the older audience. Like they kind of managed to hit both, which I think Marvel kind of struggles on the writing side. So MCU is probably better for them, and they did put a lot of resources into it, obviously, but DC, the comics.
Yeah, I feel like when going with the cinematic universe, it feels like Marvel took their time, build everything up layer by layer, stone by stone, and then you get Endgame, Infinity War, and then
which was amazing.
Yeah,
and that was like mind blowing.
DC...
No one done this. No one done this before.
Yeah, and then DC just kind of wants like, let's start with the Infinity War Endgame movies, like with the Justice League movies, like without the build-up, and that's why things crumble, because people don't care.
And even Marvel could have taken even more time, I think. Like we could have had that Hawkeye movie. We could have had that Black Widow movie before, I think.
Yeah.
And it would have even added more to Infinity War. They took the most popular characters, quote unquote, and like run with those. And I kind of understand it. It was probably smart, but I would love to see like the other movies before, like an even bigger build up and like even more foreshadowing in those movies into Infinity War.
Yeah.
But I think DC, they've had some good stuff. Like the second Suicide Squad was really, really good. It was awesome. And they've had some amazing animated shows.
Yeah.
Like the Batman and Harley Quinn and everything.
Now with the reboot, the Superman movie was really fun.
And Adventures with Superman as well. It's really, really cozy. Like I really enjoyed it.
One thing that I think James Gunn did really good with the Superman movie is that he didn't make a Superman movie. He made a comic book movie.
Yeah, exactly. I really liked that as well. I enjoyed the Superman movie. Like it had some... It could have like probably been a bit shorter, like a little bit more contained, but I still think that they did an amazing job at making Superman the character I feel Superman is or should be, because there's been some darker, like more emotional,
gritty
like interpretations of him, which is fine. But if you're making like a proper Superman movie, I want to see like a proper Superman.
Yeah.
We have Absolute Universe for that. I don't know if you've been into the Absolute Universe yet, but It's
No.
so good.
Yeah.
It's new comics, which is just reinventing all of the superheroes. So you have like Bruce Wayne, but he's poor and from like not comes from no background at all, becoming Batman. And you have I don't remember the Superman one, but I think it's like a different kind of start for him. Like I think he comes from Krypton. I don't remember. And Wonder Woman who is like raised in hell and not on the Amazon islands,
Oh.
which is like everything is like really dark and gritty and just so extreme, and it's really really good.
I've seen, I think it's photos of Batman from the Absolute Universe, and he's a brick.
Yeah,
He's
it's like solid. Yeah. He's super cool.
but we got into the comics really faster. But let's wind back a little bit, because there's a reason you're into comics with your job, right? Or
Maybe I have my job because I'm into comics.
fair enough.
Well, it all started with drawing, like a passion for art. So when I was young, I would always draw on my desk and stuff. It would be like a problem. That was like the problem with me. I wouldn't pay attention in class. I would just be drawing on my desk. Like we didn't have graffiti or anything. Like you could wash it away, but I was still drawing with pencil all over the desk. It would be like it's this big issue. And later, I decided to do art like for school and then university. And then I got really into comics and narrative storytelling with art and like graphic novels, all that stuff because of the illustration course I went to and the crowd I was hanging with. And I thought I was going to do editorial at first, but then no, it became comics instead.
Yeah.
My teachers wanted me to do editorial because I was doing quite decent at that. But no, go down a different path, which is even harder to earn money from, which is comics. And then I got my job at Outland, and it's like, I'm working with comics now anyway, so it's all good.
Yeah, and it's good to have, like, when you're an artist, good to have a job that is stable.
Yeah.
Because being an artist is hard, and trying to earn money on it is even harder, so.
Yeah, definitely. Like, most of the comic artists that I know, they do hustle on the side. They don't just do comics. They need to have some sort of other income. So, yeah. But doing 100% and then trying to do comics is also difficult because you don't get a lot of time to do comics because drawing comics takes a lot of time.
Yeah. So I have the same issue with my day job and then doing props and stuff like that on the side. It's I have 100% job and then 100% job on the side.
Exactly.
And it's stressful. And for me, it is mostly the kind of just do work, like just do this.
Yeah.
I don't need to use my brain. I just need to do it, right?
Yeah.
But for a comic book artist, you need to be creative, you need to tell a story, and you need to make decisions.
Yeah, you have, there's like, I like to think of it as certain stages. You have the starting phase, which is like, you have to use your brain a lot and like plan it all and make sure it kind of makes sense, that it fits, get the storyboard, you have to figure out everything. And then it's the rest, which is easy.
Yeah.
It's the now-think part, which is also really fun. But can be repetitive, but at least you don't have to use your brain. Inking, coloring, all of that stuff, like that's more natural. Like you can listen to podcasts or whatever when you do that. Really nice.
How long have you been doing Artist Alley stuff?
Oh man, I would call myself a veteran at this point, which is funny because I haven't been doing it as consistently as I have the last couple of years. But I was one of those people who had a stand at Desukon way back when it was in the Congress Center. So it's, what year is that? That is when I was 16. That must have been like the first time. Oh shit.
Should I just insert the Matt Damon getting old?
I think so. That's like over 15 years ago, you know? It's been a while. It's been a hot second.
I feel like if you can say that you vented at Desicon, I would tell you that you're a veteran.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even know what Desicon was. I'm
Right,
that new,
exactly.
right? I started with the first year of Magicon. That's when my first convention.
What year was that?
2022, 21. I think it's 4 years.
That's recent.
Yeah, I think it's 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And my first. Is it 4 years ago? 5 years ago? And then I had my first artist alley in the following KawaiiCon. So yeah, I'm fairly recent in the scene and everything, but
Change.
yeah,
This stuff's changed.
I hear from my girlfriend that the COVID basically was a big schism, a big change in the audience and the vendors, meaning that all the audiences and vendors were usually younger and more inexperienced. You didn't have that continuity from the old guard to the new guard with that gap that COVID created.
I think that could definitely be true. I haven't really thought a lot about it, but things definitely changed after COVID. And I explicitly remember during COVID how many more people started vending, like coming to conventions and trying take their chances at earning a little bit extra money. And I think a lot of people did a lot of art when they were not working.
Yeah, and stuck at home.
Stuck at home, like you kind of start doing your own thing. So I think a lot of people who might have been on the fence, they kind of just jumped in. So now we're a lot of people and the competitions really like raise the bar of what is like the standard at a convention nowadays. Like when we went to Desicon, the first couple of times, you didn't have like layered tables. You didn't even have a tablecloth. You came there with drawings, like some art prints that you printed on your printer at home, and you just laid those out on the table. And you took some cash, like card, like how were you supposed to pay with card? Like that was not a possibility. And you just like, it was all just flat on the table. And that's kind of how it went.
Yeah, now you have these multi-tiered setup with lights and yeah.
And it's almost like you have to have that now, because if you don't, you're going to get lost in like the sea of really nicely set up tables.
Yeah.
So the bar has definitely been raised.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool to see, but it's also sad to see because it means that it's a bigger investment for everyone who wants to try it. Like we didn't have to do anything. We just had to pack like a folder with prints. That's it.
Yeah.
And then we went on our way.
Yeah. Now it's you need to bring like grids and lights and everything. So yeah.
It's a bigger operation now than before, definitely. And sometimes I miss the simplicity of like that, just spreading everything out on like a empty table, no cloth, no nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you had like handwritten signs, like you didn't print any, like you didn't do anything properly. It was all like very bare bones.
Indie.
Yeah, it was like my first con type setup. But now it's like even like, I don't know, you talked to Julia, right? Julia Flake at some point. And when she started, she had like this amazing setup already because she was like, I need grids, like I will borrow yours, and like a card machine, like I will borrow yours. So like, I was just lending her all of this stuff to kind of start because she was like, I need all of these things because that's what they do in artists.
Yeah. It's what they do now, not what they did. But you talked about how you started drawing. What are some of your inspirations when drawing? Do you have any people that inspire you or have inspired you to get more into drawing?
Definitely. Manga's been a pretty big part of my inspiration, as manga's kind of my bread and butter nowadays. I think it all started a sweet morning in Sauda, and I was with my mom in town, and Sauda's not a big town. I don't know if you've ever been there, but they have a factory and a couple of stores. That's it.
I haven't even heard of it.
Exactly. way inside Ryfylke. And there was a Narvesen. And in that Narvesen, I found a comic book. And it was interesting. It was like black and white, translated into Norwegian. So I picked that up and was like, this looks interesting. Mom, can I please have this? And she was like, a comic. Perfect. Little did I know, this was a yaoi comic. So volume 4. And I didn't even understand, like at this point, I didn't understand what like yaoi was. Like this was the first time I was like, wait, there are 2 boys kissing in this. What are these feelings? What is happening? I don't know why, but I need to read the rest. And it was like, you know, probably like 13, 16 plus, like age range. And I was like hooked already. And we went down the next day. I bought like the other ones, so I kind of could read it in chronological order, because I didn't know that you had to read it in chronological order. So it was like volume 4, perfect, you know. And then I was reading up, and then I found another one as well, which is called Samurai Deeper Q, which is an oldie but a goodie. You can't find it anymore, don't worry. Which is like a samurai story. It is more like shonen, which is like also got me really, really hooked. It's like, oh my God, you can do all these things with like storytelling and comics. Like it doesn't have to be like strips or Donald Duck. What is happening? Inside my brain is expanding. And after that, I was like, I have to try and draw this. Like, I have to copy. You know, most artists, they start copying. Like, that's how we start. Tracing and copying. I was like, yay high. Like, started tracing all of this, copying all of this stuff. And I kind of just, yeah. And then from there, I found Outland in Stavanger through my aunt and uncle. And I realized that there was like shelves upon shelves with this manga stuff. And it kind of went downhill from there. Got really into One Piece. Got really into Naruto, which was kind of like the gateway. Inuyasha, obviously. And Bleach, which was like the 4 at the time, which was big. Found the anime. Figured out this was animated shows as well. Went to YouTube. Inuyasha, episode 3, part 3. You know, like had to see them in like all these different parts. Was looking like binging it when I was in Söder. Because there was nothing else to do. Come on. I was a teenager in a town with nothing. So I was binging these like animes, found all this kind of stuff. Like internet was just starting to like become like this holy grail of like shared media. And from there it's like, yeah, went down a rabbit hole. But currently I think like some of the biggest inspirations that I have probably I get really inspired by cartoons as well. I think one of the like Steven Universe and stuff kind of really got me into comics, like drawing my own, and like my style. You can see it's very inspired by that kind of cartoonish. And then you have like the manga side, which is like more, I guess, like I'm not sure exactly what manga has inspired my style the most. But because I started off with like things like Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece, I think like that's probably where I have the most from. But yeah, like Steven Universe and stuff, definitely for like style.
Yeah, brings you like from the east to the west in style, so you're not like manga.
But that's like what manga is.
Yeah.
Manga is inspired by Disney.
Yeah.
And now Disney is inspired by manga. Like, where is it gonna end? It's an infinite loop.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad thing. And Gravity Falls as well. That was really, really good. Really love that.
But I've seen some of your pieces over there, and you have a really... It's so difficult to describe. It's sort of childish and expressful. I see the Pokemon drawings you have. They're so memeable. Yeah. And they're just so expressive.
But that's just because they're all based off cats. Like my cat and my boss's cat. Like cats are memes in themselves. Like, you don't need to. You can just look at them, take a picture, and draw it, exaggerate it, and you have like a perfect memeable drawing.
We have a cat at home, or we have 2 cats.
Yes.
We have Pernille, which is the old lady, beautiful, kind, calm, and then we have the idiot. His name is Bias. He he isn't even aware of the brain cell existing.
No.
So he's never had a thought in his life. He looks so lost all the time.
Must
yeah,
be nice.
yeah. And then we got him as a rescue, and he was 10 kilos, I think.
Oh.
So we've got him down to 7 or 8-ish now. So we're working on him.
Yeah. He's working every day.
Yeah. No, he's cats are their own characters,
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'll have put in a lot of your artwork as a B-roll here throughout the video, so people can see your style.
Yeah.
That leads me into another question. When you're an artist, when you do stuff like this, you're not necessarily beholden to a deadline, but art blocks are still a major curse to have. How do you deal with that? Do you have any methods you use, or do you just let everything lie until it gets...
So my method, which is both good and bad, is a good and a bad method, because you can also ruin things for yourself with this method. Have a million hobbies. If you have a million hobbies and a million projects, you will never not have a reason to do something. So when I can't draw my comic, if I'm like stuck, I'm not inspired, I'm not feeling it, it's like feels wrong, can't do it. Okay, I'm starting to work on Artist Alley stuff instead. I'm gonna design something. It's easier, it's like shorter, it's like instant endorphins or whatever it's called in English. But then if I can't do any drawing, okay, I'm gonna play Magic. I'm gonna start building decks. I'm gonna look at the art. I'm gonna get into some other way. Or I'm gonna play video games. Good story, get into it, get inspired. Because I have a lot of direct inspirational sources to a lot of my projects. So sometimes I can just go back to the source and work a little bit with that, or like play the game, read the book, read the comic, listen to that music, and then I will be inspired to go back into the art. But there is a catch. If my main source of inspiration is a video game, for example, I might be stuck with that video game for quite some time. And even though I have the inspiration to draw, the eagerness in the game to kind of complete tasks or like, like
get a little
really
dopamine hit. Yeah.
You get stuck there for longer than you intended. So it's like, it's two sides.
Yeah.
Luckily, the project I'm working on now, I'm like writing a manuscript for like a dark fantasy. It's the main inspiration is music, which is easier to just turn off and like start writing, like get into it a little bit more. But I have a webcomic, which is a sci-fi, and I played a lot of cyberpunk in that time, which is like the main source of inspiration. And whenever I go back to cyberpunk 2077, I'm like stuck there.
I heard, I don't remember who said it, or where I heard it. It was a YouTuber, I think. He said that the only reason I get something done is because I'm procrastinating something else.
Yeah, exactly. You can always do that.
So if you have a lot of things you need to have done, just line them up and you'll find something else and procrastinate the other.
Good example is like the whole of winter and like last fall and stuff, I was writing this manuscript. And I was working on it, I was doing character sketches, I was doing environmental sketches, I was doing like getting really into like the inspiration of the story. And now during spring, and it's like con season, I'm like doing con stuff instead. So now I'm like designing products, looking into what kind of stuff I could be doing more of that stuff. So even if I'm not productive on the comic, at least I'm productive on the convention side of the hustle. So you can kind of bounce between the two.
And you said your main inspiration now is music. For your comic or manuscript would be easier to do in conjunction with writing the manuscript, having some sounds and instead of like having to play a game while that doesn't really combine.
You can do it at the same time, but a lot of my thoughts come from walking to and from work. So it's like a 20-minute commute, like walking, and I listen to the music, and all of the scenes and the characters start like playing out in my brain while I'm listening to the music. Because walking is also a really good way to heighten brain activity. I don't know if people do this, but I've always used walking as like a method of sparking inspiration and getting into like solving some like story plot issues and things like that. So I do recommend like just go for a walk, listen to music, really get into it.
Yeah, we have the same thing with programming that I do. Is you get stuck on a problem and then you walk away from it.
Yeah.
And then you're in the shower and you're just like, oh, this is how. Rinse, write it down.
Yeah, it's like if you are active, your brain will also be more active, right?
Yeah.
So it is like a proven method.
Yeah, you need to distract yourself from the issue for a little while, and then it'll work its way in the back of your mind.
Exactly.
I usually try to end these talks with a moonshot. Moonshot being like a big dream or big goal, something you want to achieve.
Yeah.
Do you have a moonshot?
I don't necessarily think it's that big of a dream, but I would love to like just get my comic out there when it's done. So, I mean, I do have a lot of dreams, but not necessarily in like with the concern of drawing comics. Like one of my biggest dreams is just like moving to Japan and live there for like 6 months, 12 months, learn the language and then pop back home.
Yeah.
So I can read all the manga before it's like translated.
Yeah.
So I can read even more stuff, even faster.
And even things that aren't translated.
Yes,
like,
exactly. Because that's what if I knew how to read Japanese, I could just be reading all of it as soon as it like hits the internet, and I could go to like the Japanese pages and just read it straight away. But I don't know Japanese that well, so I will have to learn. So it will be really, really cool to just live there for 6 months, 12 months, learn the language, do like a language course or whatever, and then pop back home. But that would be expensive.
yeah, for sure. Getting a job in Japan might not be easy as well, and
luckily I can do my job from home.
Yeah.
So potentially I could do like a 60% just work.
Yeah. So that's a achievable but a hairy goal to achieve, and that would also while you're still young have like a good experience to draw upon.
Exactly. But yeah, I just want to like my midterm goal is just getting the comic done and sending it off to publishers and hopefully get a deal. That is probably the more realistic goal. It's like fresh in my mind now.
Yeah, I'll keep my fingers crossed for you, and I hope to see you in the shelves of Outland with all the other comics there.
I hope so too.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for this talk, and good luck with your comics.